guys? It's your boy TG, and welcome back to another episode of Goode Gotcha Entertainment. As you see me every single week, and the crew, Cam with the plan on the other side. Hey, there's a lot of kind of things to cover around the league, not necessarily the preseason football games, because I ain't really worried about that. I'm worried about when they finally put on the pass and finally start hitting. They haven't even buckled up yet. They're still having Aaron Rodgers drama and the Jets. I don't even care about all of that. But one thing I do want to say is welcome back. Another episode of GGU. Hey, we're back, guys. It's a powerhouse week here. We were waiting for everything to start jumping up with different sports. But Cam, I got to ask you, how are you feeling?
My brother, I am.
Perfect. Look, we're going to hop right into it. It's a topic that's been around floating all week long. And I mean, as we've talked about them before, the Washington Commanders, the Redskins, whatever they call their name, the Commanders, I think it is. Their coach, new guy on the block, which is old to us but new to them, the multi-AFC champion, the Super Bowl winner with Patrick Mahomes, their offensive coordinator. Eric, what's his last name? I hate butchering it. I got to ask you, because you know how to say this man's name. Yeah, that word. And no disrespect to Eric. I just can't say your name, so I'm not going to butcher it. I'll let my co-host say your name. But anyway, in the main news here, the Commanders somehow, we'll talk about this around the league and in sports in general, are becoming a little soft here. Reason saying is the players are feeling a little bit concerned about their offensive coordinator, and I'm going, this man won multi-AFC championships, Super Bowl winner. I don't see the thing about being so concerned. Is it just because you're too soft? I can't say the other words that I'm thinking because this is a good show, but we'll keep this PG. But anyways, Tim, we're going to go into this. As we talked about this not only in the NBA, but in the NFL, with the times of change, with rules where you can't even put a fingernail on a quarterback, are you believing that players, athletes, the whole policy and the whole league are becoming too soft?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like everybody is soft. They don't look at it. People are going to go field. I'm sorry, he was wrong. There's no way possible that you're a coach with this hand. I'm talking about this. I'm on the press. I was like, oh my God, I want to run through a brick wall right now. The enemy had me pumped up. I'm like, oh yeah, I wish I had this kind of coach when I played baseball. Like I was hyped. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this type of coach. But if you don't want to be pushed, if you want to be mediocre, be average.
Yeah, and not only like you said, I mean, feeling the pump of energy that's coming through that locker room. If I saw Eric walking through as our OC and getting in our behinds or getting in the mud with us and rolling up his sleeves, he's trying to bring a championship back to the East Coast. We haven't had one in a while, except for you talking about New England way up there. But, I mean, in the meantime, if you think about it, it's becoming too soft. That's across the board. I mean, they're eliminating things across the league. Safety protocols, I understand. Athletes got to be safe. But in the midst of the change of times, if you go back in the Lawrence Taylor era, or you go back into the Brett Favre era, which was not too far ago, there was some hard knock hits being applied. And you didn't have to worry about your coach getting at you because somebody else is going to check you on the opposite side of the line. And now players are just getting soft in practice. They don't even want to touch. I mean, for all I can damn well say, they want to go out there and play two-hand touch. I don't know. Take the pads off, guys. Put some flags. And I know I've coached NFL flag football. It's nice. I enjoy it with the kids. It may be recreational for an adult that don't want to play contact anymore. I'll get it. But when you are a grown man getting paid salary or contract, stop crying, grow a pair. I said it, grow a pair and walk around. That's the PG way of me saying it. I can't say it any better.
No, you're right.
I'm just disgruntled with the whole situation going on in the Commanders because they won a championship. They got some hard knocks to do some things with. They got the talent there, but now you're just too hard.
Facts.
Now you're just too hard. I'm gonna leave the Commanders alone because I actually want to see what the hell they do this year. I hope them the best. I hope Eric figures something out because Ron Rivera is being too soft too. He wants to be soft too. Like, forget all that. That's why the Panthers didn't do anything. That's why the Panthers went damn sure perfect and blew the Super Bowl because he's just too soft. Damn all of that. I'm tired of it. But we're gonna move on to another subject. One thing I gotta talk to you about, Cam, and you know how disgruntled or I don't even know, disrespected I felt with this conversation. But Henry Ruggs III, we saw this guy mow down a lady and her dog in a car, and no joking matter, in a fatal DUI crash. Hold on, America, hold on, GG. Let me tell you a little bit about what happened in this whole thing. Let me unfilter some of this. Ruggs is 24. Girlfriend's in the car with him. She got out more unharmed than anybody else. Him and Ruggs. The other girl fatally passed away in the crash with her pup. Ruggs, the driver of the car that's going to excessive speed, was approximately traveling at 156 miles per hour on a residential road. The RAV4 that the young lady and the pup was driving in or riding in was traveling 43 miles per hour. Henry Ruggs, alcohol content level of a 0.161, twice the legal limit of that state, and probably anywhere in the U.S., was operating that vehicle. Murder, point blank serious on the note. But, and then let me even decipher or depict some more stuff for you folks. This gentleman was at Top Golf, and nothing to Top Golf's name, but they just happened to be the people that gave them the drinks, and now their company's getting a rap for it too. Not a rap for it as far as paying for it, but there was some bad public news. You go out there and you get 20 drinks as a group. Nothing's wrong with that if, in fact, 2 or 3 drinks was yours, which all of them had tequila, and then we know what tequila can do within any other alcohol. Tequila is I would call it the cocaine rush of alcohol. I'm just saying what it is, because it can get you really messed up. And we all know who's 21 and older knows that that's what it is. And drink responsibly. But in this case, the news just came out that Henry Ruggs III just got sentenced to 3 to 10 years behind bars for murdering somebody. Not damn all that it was an accident. You were drunk. You knew what you were doing. You got behind the wheel of the car. I don't care if you were drunk, high off some drug. I don't give a damn if it was weed. I don't care. You knew what the hell you were doing, and you got behind that car, and you got behind that wheel, and you murdered somebody. And you murdered a dog. Did I mention the dog? But in the same sense, my thing here is you walked away with a dollar store handcuff on your wrist. That's what I call it. One of the ones you can literally break. It's made out of metal, but you can break them. You walked away with I don't even know. You walked away with a silly putty on your wrist, and they said never do it again. But did I mention that the court system, I tell you folks how jacked up our system is, because you put this man away for 3 to 10 years, he gets parole after the 3rd year. 3 years. So you telling me that young lady, her life was only worth, her and the dogs, and her and the dog, I said the dog, life was only worth 3 more years. Her career, her aspirations, her family, her potential next kin and family. And you just gave the man 3 to 10 years and said, well, 3rd year you can get parole. I guarantee he gets it. And by the time he get out of jail, guess what? He'll be only in his late 20s, so guess what? He can get back to his happy-go-lucky life. He can work out, for God's sake, while he's in jail and still be where he's at when he get out. Yeah. I'll let the floor to you because I've ranted enough. I'm pissed about this because you put people that do a simple misdemeanor or a felony for not even that. Take this back, Kim. You put people away that do drug handoffs or drug dealers away for providing for their family because that's the only thing that they can do. or the only thing that they can be able to do due to their record because of the laws that are put on by the United States government. Man, you put them away for a damn short decade and ruin their damn life. But then you put a dude like this just because he got some wealth in him that he can just get 3 lousy years. I am pissed. It's beyond this because my family's dealt with it. We've been on the opposite side of these laws. And it's mind-boggling that you see that and then you ruin these years of life, but then you let somebody guy like this get out and continue life like nothing never happened. Tell me how jacked up that is.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the NFL have these where they have some type of transportation for athletes who are impaired, quote unquote, or just if you would like transportation, you call a number, whatever, they come pick you up, something like an Uber. So for me, why wasn't that utilized? You know, why wouldn't we go that route? I need someone to come pick me up. I don't care about the situation right now. I don't care if I'm my girlfriend. If I come back in my vehicle, I can't drive. Or if I do, I will something bad like this today. I think it's wild that he only got 10 years. Rest in peace. So I'm actually surprised because I know how hard it go for him. Not just the person who's hurt, but I know how hard it goes. If there's in 3, then you're up for parole after 3. That's kind of crazy to me. But I don't know, brother. We've seen it for years. It's just, it's sad that someone could lose their life because of someone else's poor judgment.
And get away with it. But then someone that's providing for their family that's actually trying to be not, it may be against the law, but they're trying to provide for their family because guess what? That's what the law made them do because they can't get them a job. They go away for half a decade and miss their whole family's history going through, missing their children's stuff. But this slouch can get released off of like nothing. Like, oh, you go drink more beers. Why don't you? Go turn up some more tequila. Why don't you? Walk down the damn street and go take a drink. It pissed me off. And regardless of color, it's still, if it was Baker Mayfield, if it was fucking Derek Carr, anybody, I would be pissed the same way because there's policies in place. But then yet you tear families apart for other stuff. But something like this man should sit behind bars and think about what he did. Every sober day that he has, he sat behind bars. You cannot learn that fast from your mistake. And he didn't. That lousy I'm sorry in court was just a pity party to put on for that family. I hope they hit him with a wrongful death suit. I hope a lawsuit comes. Take his money. If you can't take it away and put him in the jail, take it from him in the outside in his bank account. I'll be perfect with that. But money can't bring back their loved one either.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't think that it's enough, but unfortunately, that's what some believes is proper with regards to this situation. So, unfortunately, we just have to live their decision for us now. But maybe the NFL won't reinstate him when he decides to come back. If maybe they will come back, hopefully he has to sit there for
Maybe we will see. Definitely, we will see. On a more lighter note, but more of a note for the Dallas Cowboy fans. Let's talk about Dallas. As they're in the news and they can't stay out the news for Dak Prescott throwing too many interceptions, and Mike McCarthy just don't know how to call a play. And we saw that in Green Bay as he had some troubling pass with Aaron Rodgers before departing Green Bay. Now, my question to you, Cam, looking at Dallas this season and looking through the journey of Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy this far, who's to blame this season if it does fall through? Will it be Dak Prescott and his inconsistency to throw the damn ball, or Mike McCarthy just not making the right play calling?
It will be a combination of both. First and foremost, I love seeing Dak Prescott from interception. It's amazing. I think on Tuesday he threw like 3 interceptions. It was just, this is just, something that I'm looking forward to seeing every Sunday, to be honest with you. But it also boils down to, can Mike McCarthy put Dak in the right positions to be successful? Like he ran your OC out of Dallas, ran into the mud. Now let's see what you can do, Mike McCarthy. If you can put Dak in the position to be successful, then please by all means do that. But if you can't, your job's on the line this year. Not only is your job on the line, but Dak's job should be on the line. I'm just being realistic with you because Dak's been there for how many years? What, 7? Maybe 8 now? I mean, what has he done since?
Well, Cam, you know what I'm going to say, and my Dallas Cowboy voice is going to come out because I don't like them damn Dallas Cowboys. But you know something? My mug is still got a shipping order. It's on back order because so many people saw my mug and they just start ordering. And I called Amazon, and Amazon said, "Mr. Goode on back order." And I said, "What?" And I said, "Because everybody don't like the damn Dallas Cowboys." And I said, "That's just a shame." You want to know who I think is on the line? I think it's going to be Dak Prescott because they going to get rid of his behind. And guess who's going to be sitting there? Mike McCarthy. He's going to be sitting there and he's going to blame it all on Dak Prescott. He's been injury prone. He leads the throwing passing yards. I understand that, old Dallas Cowboy fans. But don't worry about going to a Super Bowl. You might win. You might win your first 4 preseason games, but look forward to that being the only thing you win. But I'm just saying, Dallas fans, I hope you watch it. Because, and Cam, I hope your uncle's watching. He'll call me late at night. But those Cowboys, y'all gonna be on the hot seat all year long. Y'all gonna run Jerry Jones out the damn building. Hell, I might just come sit right on the field side. That's how cheap your tickets are gonna be. With my mug. And my crowd of people with the mug. Because it's on back order. But I want to tell you, I don't like them damn Dallas Cowboys. I really don't. And I ain't going to run today with the Dallas Cowboys. I ain't going to do it. Cowboy fans, just stay buckled up. Y'all play this weekend. I look forward to y'all losing in the preseason. I hope you lose every game. Every week I wake up on a Sunday and say, man, I hope those Cowboys sure do lose. And they do it every single time, after time. But I'm going to get off you Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm going to let y'all breathe for a little bit. And Cam, we going to move on past the Dallas Cowboys. I think y'all going to beat them twice, Cam. I get y'all 2 times this year.
I think so, too. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very confident with what I saw from last year. We bought Saquon back. We added more depth in regards to receivers on one side, some targets for Danny Jones to throw to. So I'm very excited about the Giants this year. Hopefully, Danny will throw to the right thing. But I think that the Giants are going to surprise a lot of people this year. I'm not saying we're going to have like a 9 and whatever record again like last, but I do feel like we may sneak back into the playoffs again.
I ain't against you on that. I love you guys if y'all beat the damn Dallas Cowboys. I would love the Giants to beat the Cowboys. I love the Commanders to beat the Cowboys. The Eagles can beat them. Hell, I don't care who beat them. As long as they beat them, I'll bring college football out and beat them. I don't care what we do, as long as they lose. But anyways, let's switch off the Dallas Cowboys. I will get off y'all and let y'all breathe. But Cam, let's get into what the NFL season looks like. We got a lot of players coming off injury. We got a lot of players that actually went down to injury just recently. And we got up and coming stars and veterans across the league. Now, there's going to be a detailed conversation between you and I. Now, which player and team are you looking forward to see play this season? Now, give me 2 offensive. Give me 2 offensive players that you think are going to be kind of shooting stars this year for you.
Well, my first selection, I'm going with OBJ in Baltimore. I feel like this is Odell's year. of course, coming off the second APL injury, I feel like he has a lot to improve this year. I don't necessarily agree with him going to Baltimore per se, but I like him going to Baltimore. They kept saying Lamar Jackson has no target, all he can do is run in the third. But Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. Lamar Jackson is a very good quarterback. He's a former MVP. People forget about that. He had an injury last year. They have a new OC this year. I expect. How about this? I'm gonna go with both Lamar and OBJ. I feel like that duo themselves. Oh my god! I feel like they
look,
duo in football this year.
I'm not even going to take it from you because we might be agreeing a lot this year because on my list for offense, before we go to defense, is Patrick Mahomes. That man, I want to see how he adapts to having a new offensive coordinator. Ultimately, we know he's going to be a Hall of Famer in the future, as long as he stays healthy. He's going to be one of the all-time greats, as long as he stays healthy and have that chemistry that he has. And I think Andy Reid stays around as long as he has to while Patrick Mahomes is there, because he's in good health and good shape. He doesn't have to stress about having a poor quarterback. But I want to give it to that with Patrick Mahomes. But then I had another bad man on my radar, and a lot of people are throwing shade at him, is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, even though he hasn't had the best or greatest success in the playoffs and only win maybe less than one or two playoff games in his career, I do disagree with that conversation. But in the same sense, all of those seasons, he almost had a shell shock at running back. And he always had a kind of battered receiving core. Adding OBJ is a stunner to the league. Seeing that highlight was huge for him. And having the rest of the guys in their running back core. If they stay healthy, boy, oh boy. Baltimore's defense is kind of decent as it is. And then you have a Michael Vick style QB. Yes, I did say Michael Vick style QB because he can run it and he can throw it. He can do anything. There's only a certain amount of those guys around. I'm watching those guys. I think those two are my most watched for offense this year. And not only that, Kim, I gotta throw it in there. I'm watching my boy Jordan Love. Sweet baby Love. I gotta go watch him. Look. I gotta see what Sweet baby Love.
You said two.
But no. I gotta go. I got one more. I gotta sneak the bonus in there. Sweet baby Love. Boy, oh boy. If you haven't followed me, go out there and look at my story on Instagram at Trust Goode. And you can see that sweet, bubbly pass in training camp that was against another team. He just floated that ball on the Dobbs, and it was just golden. You see the power of what the Green Bay Packers can do this season. I'm just waiting to see that. You just stay tuned. But anyways, Cam, let's go to defense. Who are the two defensive players that you are looking at the most going into the season?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, what you think it is? It ain't nobody else.
Thank you. My gosh, with all that nonsense you're spewing. The first player that I am looking forward to watching this year is New York Giants on Kayvon Thibodeaux. Our first round pick from last year, the rookie from last year, said in an interview recently that he was upset about his performance last year. He said he did not live up to the hype. He was not his best. With a rookie saying that, being as quote unquote dominant as he was as a rookie, that defensive team, Lord, I'm not saying Kayvon will do crazy things this year. I'm not expecting Kayvon. That's my first. And my second, I'm going with the Derek Stingley. The Houston Texans. I think he was a first round pick maybe last year, if not 2 years ago. Cornerback out of LSU. I think it was 2 years ago. Cornerback out of LSU. Young man balls out. He balled out of LSU. Even though he plays for Houston, he played very well in the 9 games he played this past year. I'm excited to see what Houston does this year. I'm expecting that from him. But with D'Amico Ryan as the head coach, I want to see how he turns that defense around first. Because we all know defense is king.
Look, I got one guy I can't think of any more, not disrespecting across the league, but Aaron Donald. That man coming off an injury, he's a beast among beasts. I'm looking to see what kind of pressure he puts on QBs this year or offenses. That man alone, I mean, we haven't seen him really be the beast that he would like to be due to injury. On top of that, I would have liked to see Jalen Ramsey and see what he'd have done, but he's out. And I don't really know much more defensive players than that. I do, but I just don't feel like talking about them right now. But in the meantime, Kim, we got one more question before we switch to the last topic of the night. And it's what is your most watched or most viewed team going into this year?
For me, I mean, of course, I'm a Giants fan, so I would.
Oh, how about we know that? I don't mean anything, Kim.
Anything? If I can go with any team, I'm gonna go with
The Green Bay Packers. Oh,
and I say the Detroit Lions because now that Aaron Rodgers is out of town, I personally believe that division is wide open.
it is. It is. Because you got Kirk Cousins, you got Jordan Love, you got Jared Goff, and you got Hurts. Not Hurts. Gosh, what's the kid's name in the Bears? Yes. Fields. I said Hurts. I'm thinking about the Eagles. Those two guys that came in around the same time, so I'm like throwing their name around all the time, which is really wide open. Now, my team, I would say, I'm watching this year is those Carolina Panthers. They got the QB that they need. He's floating around in practice. They made the Jets look sloppy in their practice, frustrated on a 2-minute drill. But then also on the flip side, talking about the Jets, I'm looking at the Jets this year. Rodgers is there. They got a Hall of Fame QB. They got a decent defense, and last year we see them crush the league in the first half. They got the halftime of the season, and they went flat. And they have enough push to make some noise and get into the playoffs now, long as the offense gel together. That's what I see. Panthers and Jets is who I look at for the teams going into it. Now, let's take a switch from the NFL to college football. We got about a couple more minutes before concluding the show. But in the meantime, the collapse of the Pac-12, Kim, this has taken us by a storm. Last Friday, that whole day within a 12-hour span, it collapsed. Teams flooded the gates out the door, took their fines, and said goodbye, Pac-12. And now it's a Pac-4. I mean, it started out like that almost in the very beginning back in the 1918s. But these schools have now left. And the only schools that remain are Stanford, California, Berkeley, Washington State, Oregon. Now, in the same sense, the cause of this major collapse is the media rights. Now, Kim, can you spill the beans or give us some insight on what this media rights agreement kind of looked like for them?
So, in all retrospect, the Pac-12, the schools, they were looking for more money. And how you get more money is media. So, if you're not televised, you're going to tell you you're not going to raise that revenue. And the Pac-12 has been, I think, fighting this for the past 2 years now. I honestly did see this coming. I'm actually upset that, the Pac-12 fell apart so quickly because now it went from the Pac-12 to the Pac-4. In all retrospect, the Pac-12 will be nothing because if universities want to go to the Pac-12, it costs them roughly $26 million just to join the conference alone, which is a hefty fee for most schools. But if you want to add more programs to your school, it's a great move. But 26 million is a lot to pay. And secondly, what about the student athletes? What's going to happen when Oregon basketball has to go play Rutgers on a Thursday night in New Jersey? And then after the game, they got to fly back across the country. And those kids got to go back to class the next day. Like, this affects the student athletes just as much as it affects the schools. So I understand like the whole NIL deals and that nature and whatnot, but ultimately, how does that truly affect these kids? Because now we are expecting the whole student athletes, not athlete students, but student athletes to an academic, standard. But I promise you, lack of sleep, lack of rest, that's going to cause academics to fluctuate. So now, I don't want to say it like this, but I could really believe that we start seeing certain students dropping like GPA-wise, certain programs dropping GPA-wise. And I don't think it's a good move. But financially, didn't like the Big Ten, I believe, they agreed to like a $7 billion deal or something like that.
I mean, to go into reference there, Big Ten Conference agreed set for 7 years, $7 billion media rights with CBS, NBC, and Fox. I mean, if they can do it, I know Pac-12 can. But as they commented, we're done. Sources confirmed with the doubt and the hope factor of the Pac-12. But again, look, we'll see what happens and how that unfolds. The teams will go somewhere and play somewhere, and we'll see how that out plays and see what the Pac-12 goes back to or what they do. But it is about that time, as that concluded the segment. But I'm going to have to turn it over for a little bit of time to Cam's Corner. Cam, what you got?
Well, first and foremost, the New York Giants play the Detroit Lions tomorrow at the I will be leading that game. I do that physically, but I will be streaming that game live here at Top Cam. I am very excited about the Giants here this year. And do not forget about those Clemson Tigers. We have a new quarterback in town. His name is Cade Klubnik. Trust and believe he is doing great things for those Clemson Tigers. I cannot wait to see those Packers fall flat on their face this year with Jordan Love at quarterback.
And welcome back to Goode Entertainment. That was Cam's Corner. And I'm saying so long. It's been a blast. Second episode in the books. We got a lot coming up. You got football tonight, and you got football all through the weekend. I'll be catching it all, or maybe just on the beach side. I don't know. But be safe. Drink responsibly. We'll see you next week, guys. Cam, I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed, guys. Save the rest. We out. See ya. Peace.